Tour Junkies.
What's going on, golf addicts? Welcome to the 2025 Farmers Insurance Open from beautiful Torrey Pines in San Diego. Welcome to the podcast. I'm your boy DB. I got Pat Perry with me in his flu game. Our friend PGA Tour winner Matt Every will be joining us here in just a second. Happy MLK Day. Happy Inauguration Day. Hope you care about the national title. I don't know if you do, but we don't. We surely don't. So don't, Godspeed to all of you. Pat, we're recording this in the afternoon, a little earlier than normal because it's a holiday. I'm having me a strong bourbon drink.
Oh, good for you, man.
Celebrating so many things today, but mainly just what an awesome start to 2025. The Tour Junkies are on, and especially last week, cleaning house, the clean sweep. Me, you, our boy Every, all had Sepp Straka on the on the card, and we touted him up. We talked about it. We said you loved him. You brought him up first, but we said there's no reason he should have been priced where he was priced. He cruised to victory, and at 65, 70 to 1, depends on when you jumped on it. It was just fun to watch Septical get yet another victory. I like it when they call me Big Straka. Huh? What do we think?
Man, this feels so different than last year already, DB.
It does.
It feels
magical.
It feels really good. It feels really good to hit one this early. I feel like we struggled for a long time early last year, but now we're already off the snide. We've got us a victory. Really, we've got us 2 victories because basically we did pick Hideki when he won at the Century. So, it felt like this one felt easy, DB.
Oh God, did it?
It felt so easy.
It was so nice. And had that been okay, like let's talk about Gracerman, who we love Gracerman. Matt Every loves Gracerman. And we know the win is coming, but like had you had Gracerman in that situation with a 4-shot lead, I'd have been nervous just because you're used to, but like with Sepp, you just knew, and that's what we were talking about last week when you're looking at the number and the guys around him, a lot of them who've never won before. And you feel confident that if given the chance late on a Sunday, Sepp can close the deal. Now, did he kind of stumble a little bit on the way in? Yeah, but he was playing conservatively. He was he had bogeys in the bag if he needed them. But he's a closer, man. Sepp is just a closer. That big, beautiful bald head of his now rocking around, cock strong. You got Dewey on the bag. Dewey, we love our boy Dewey. He got out from under Kiz. We love Kiz too, but Dewey getting a major upgrade right now. Giving Kiz hitting, shanks out of bunkers on the TGL, and now, now same week he's got his boy Sepp winning. So just great to see all the way around.
Yeah, it was great. And Sepp is now, what is that, victory number 3 for him? And he's still young. Or is that 4?
I think it's 3. The John Deere,
the
Honda.
Yeah, right? and then this one. So he's still young. He's a stud. So I was happy for Sepp. We'll see if we can just keep it going this week. It's a weird field. Weird field this week, DB, it feels like. So
I got to say, we got a victory lap what we're doing on SoBet too, because the 3 weeks that have started the season on SoBet, we have crushed it. We've gone 5-0-1, 1 push in matchup bets, 5 wins in matchup bets, no losses in the last 3 weeks. Plus we put the Straka bet out there. We're up like 13 or 14 units in the first 3 weeks on SoBet, which is a great start to the year. We keep on winning on SoBet, exclusive golf plays over there, along with about 50, 60, 70 other handicappers from all kind of sports across the globe. They're on SoBet, vetted for you to follow, to tail, to learn from. There's educational pieces out there from the handicappers. Like I said, we drop our exclusive golf bets in there every single week. So follow the action on SoBet. You've got the NFL playoffs remaining here with a couple, 4 teams left. You've got baseball is going to be kicking up. The NBA is hot and heavy. All of it's there on SoBet. You can click the link in the description, and with our code, you get the first month for $1 to try it out, see what you think. You can cancel it anytime, and it's like 60 cents a day after that, or 30 cents, 50 cents a day after that. Super great platform, great user-friendly mobile app on iOS and Android. So check out SoBet, and man, we're crushing it over there too. The Discord's been hot. We had some wins in the Discord. We're just winning so far the first 3 weeks, and it does feel nice because it doesn't usually happen like this. Maybe maybe it's the Matt Every effect. Maybe Matt's bringing out the best in us with that beautiful smile and all that hair, huh? Let's I can't keep talking about him without bringing him up. Let's bring up our friend, two-time PGA Tour winner, regular weekly guest on the Tour Junkies podcast, Mr. Matt Every. How you doing, Matt?
What's up, guys? Doing
I
great.
love that hoodie. I need one of those hoodies, by the way.
We can get you one.
It looks very comfortable.
It's a busy time around these offices right now. We get the PGA show this week, leaving tomorrow morning. So you probably see a few guys scrambling behind me while we do this.
Yeah, packing orders and stuff.
No, just moving our whole line basically to Orlando for a few days.
Can I say I'm a little disappointed that the last 2 weeks I've been the only one with a drink in my hand? You guys aren't really podcast juicing it with me.
I will. I'm in a weird spot because when we do it at 8 o'clock, my boy has baseball practice right down the road. So I just pop over here, and that'd probably be frowned upon if I was,
I don't really have an excuse. Other than I got water here. I'm battling a little bit of the flu. I don't know. Maybe I should be though. I think a little bourbon would probably knock it out pretty quickly.
Yeah. Sounds better than water.
Isn't that what they did in like the Oregon Trail or whatever? They just bourbon and honey or something.
Yeah. What was that called on the Oregon Trail? Dysentery.
Dysentery.
The
Century was the first event of the year, I think.
That's right.
Patrick died of dysentery.
That's up there with La Quinta.
Hey, La Quinta was good to us last week. God loved La Quinta.
Yeah, it was.
God, she was amazing. Well, Matt, how'd you fare last week? You enjoyed the Straka sweat?
Great week. First off, JJ Spawn, he got me excited after those first two rounds. Kind of threw it in neutral. Might have run out of energy there on the stadium course. But yeah, I don't think I put it in the Discord, but I definitely did hop on Sepp. I was at 55-1, solid week, and what a front runner he is, man. Just cool as a cucumber. I felt pretty comfy on Sunday. To be honest, I was watching the football most of the weekend. I didn't really peek in on the golf. That had my attention too, but solid weekend overall.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying?
It was pretty damn good.
If Sepp offered you if Sepp was if you could trade hair with Sepp and Sepp wanted your hair
and I could
had to have his thing, what would you take in return from him? Because he's getting your hair. You have to deal with his hair. What would you take in return?
I would take his brain.
His brain?
Yes.
Okay.
I just think he's a very simple human, and it goes a long ways for him. I've heard stories of Sepp in the past. I don't know if he does this, but he had a flip phone because he didn't want to deal with the internet and stuff like that. Requires a ton of discipline, and to me, it just seems like it's very easy for him to be present on the golf course, and maybe that is why he's a good front runner.
Pat, I don't think you were with me because you never went to Eastlake with me, maybe once to do the media thing, but I walked with him and JT, John Tillery, for a practice round one time at Eastlake, and he showed me I saw the flip phone.
Did you?
Yeah.
Those are usually bat phones.
Yeah. It was real. Yeah, he's a great dude. Apparently just had a new baby too. So baby swag. Everything was cooking for him. Before we wrap up the AMEX, there was a viral video that came from our friend Drew Carr that dropped and I'm wearing a shirt today.
Yes, you are.
Our sweet South Korean prince ripping driver out of the fairway bunker to go birdie on his last two holes to squeeze in and make the cut at the AMEX, which it's just such a Siwoo thing. We were texting about it, the three of us over the weekend. And Matt, you said Siwoo was.
He loves me. I love Siwoo. He's as good as advertised. You hear, a lot of these to the general public. You hear some of the characters on the tour. I will say, Siwoo lives up to it 10x. He is something else, man. That guy. I've played rounds with him where he's hit the quit button 3 different times and walked off with 3 under par. Full on quit. He just is another level of talent. And when it all lines up, he's a special human.
Yeah, he really is. He's a good guy. He still owes us an opportunity to interview him one of these days. Maybe we'll make it happen.
Does he know? He knows you guys?
Oh yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. Of course. He has our shirts.
I got a good Siwoo. Let me give you a Siwoo story real quick.
Please do.
All right. So this guy used to caddy for me. His name was Bobby Brown. All right. He was actually Dustin's caddy when Dustin grounded it in the bunker at at was it Whistling? Whistling Straits.
Yeah.
Yeah, solid dude. Anyways, he came on my bag when I like really started struggling, and I was like, Bob, get out of here. Go to somebody else. Like, this is not good news right here. So he eventually ends up on Siwoo's bag, maybe about a year after he worked for me. I never met Siwoo. We get paired together. I think this was like 2016 Tampa.
Right.
And we get paired together, and Bob sees the parents, and he comes like strutting over to me on the range, and he's like, you're gonna love Siwoo. He's like, he's the Korean you. And I was like, okay, we'll see. So we go out there on Thursday, and I'm hitting it all over the map. He's not playing great either. And we get done. I go to the range, sun card, go to the range, whatever. I'm hitting balls, and Bob comes like strutting up to me again, and he's got this big grin on his face, and he's like, you're never gonna believe what he just told me. He goes, you think I crazy? He goes, I met every crazy, but I like him. He's all time, man. And a lot of my buddies have caddied for Siwoo, like my close friends, Brian Vranish.
Yeah.
And then Manny Villegas, Camilo's little brother. We went to school together, and they are a really good combo out there, those two. I know they're not really clicking right now, but that guy's just he has the switch. Like it's a real thing with him. If he's tuned in and there, like he's as good as anybody.
Matt, you got like a badge of honor from Siwoo. Like you should make a badge and just say like, yeah, Siwoo said I'm crazy.
Yeah.
No. Yeah, right.
Get a medal.
A medal from Siwoo.
Said I'm crazy.
We got to walk with Manny and Siwoo. Was that last year, Pat?
That was last year at the Players
practice round. Walked 9 holes with both those guys in the ropes, and they were both fantastic. It was the first time we met Manny and Camilo. Both those guys could not have been nicer.
Dude, Camilo last week. Let's talk about him.
Right?
Let's go. We're back.
Yeah, Camilo's hit. He came out of nowhere, huh? He screwed our Nico bet on one day, I think. But yeah, him and Manny were super nice. Manny was very funny. You could tell him and Siwoo kind of handled each other nicely. Manny kind of gives it to him a little bit.
You got to get back a little bit. Yeah.
Yes, you could see that kind of going. So they had a really good relationship. So that was awesome. That was fun to watch, fun to meet those guys, and Siwoo's a legend.
By the way, 2 times last year when we were following DB, you remember that? I guess one was the RSM the year before, but then last year during the Players, you remember when he holes out like just some ridiculous chip both times, and we weren't videotaping both times.
Yeah, right when we walked up.
That round I'm telling you about in Tampa on the double dog leg at Innisbrook on the back. It's like the what do you call it? Signature hole, like on the scorecard. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Where it has like the bushes that say Innisbrook.
Yep.
He was chopping and he sprayed it way right in the green. I swear to God, he just walked up and hit this thing and it went in the hole. Like, I mean, just chipped it through the rough down the hill. And that's like a big no-no missing over there to the right.
Yeah.
It's another level.
Yeah, we got some good Siwoo stories. We can sit down and swap. You probably have more, but we have a couple of good ones that we've procured through the years. That's good stuff, man. Well, hopefully him and Manny can turn it on here in the next couple of weeks. I do know here at Torrey, I think Vranish told us the story about, was it Siwoo like throwing his 8-iron or throwing his 5-wood into the ocean off of number 8 or something on one of these holes? Just helicopter, like Matt Everett his club out of there, and then the next day hit it in the exact same spot off the tee and asked for that club, and Vranish was like,
I remember hearing that one.
He's like, oh yeah, 7-iron, chippy 7 or something is what he did. He's like, yeah, hand me 7, hit it chippy or something. Guy's amazing. All right, so we got the Farmers this week. A lot of guys WD in here. What do you think that is? Because I mean, obviously the Riv stuff is going on. There's rumors that it could be at PGA West again, or it could stay at Torrey.
I think it's staying at Torrey.
You think it is?
Yeah, and I think that might be why a couple of guys are banned. I don't know, but wouldn't you want to play it twice if you're going to play it again? Yeah, who knows? Who's bailed? Morikawa?
Well, I mean, I guess Xander seems legitimately hurt, first of all.
Yeah.
So that's his excuse. But like Højgaard and
Mackenzie Hughes.
Oh,
of course. Yeah. Who are the other guys? I feel like there's a lot of them that have.
I think there's a few just never even got on the start list because they did it early. But I mean, yeah, I don't know. I don't know why you wouldn't want to play it twice, but whatever.
So apparently Xander's dealing with a rib issue. So Colin, Højgaard, Mackenzie Hughes, Akshay just withdrew today. So yeah, it's weird. Like why? Like Torrey just is like.
Well, I mean, Akshay's in Dubai last week. Like, I mean, I get it. Like with that.
Yeah, so the Dubai thing, yeah.
And then who knows what's going on with Morikawa? Maybe he's playing TGL next week and he's saving up for that.
Could be that. Big TGL matchup. Maybe we'll have a competitive matchup at the TGL.
Yeah, I was actually looking at it. I think it'll be the best one yet. I mean, I thought Rose's LA looked. I mean, Justin Rose looked dialed in on that simulator. He's like the only one that did really to me.
Yeah, I agree.
Rosie was good too. Yeah, he made a bunch of key putts there. You did have the Dubai Desert Classic with Tyrrell Hatton taking that one down. Did you ever play the Dubai and then come over and play Torrey or no?
Never did. No. Okay. No. It was probably only like 2 years I was good enough to get in that tournament, and then I just never did it.
Okay. Well, tell us what are your thoughts on Torrey Pines North?
Torrey. First of all, I loved the drive from Palm Springs to Torrey. Getting back to like real life. It's liberating.
Out of the dome.
Liberating coming over that mountain, let me tell you. Great week. One of my favorite events. Just the whole coastline there, going down the PCH, anything north of the course is kind of where, I like to stay. There's a ton of little beach towns. It's just a really cool week. 2 courses, obviously. They've made that north one harder. It used to be a cakewalk. I mean, 10 plus years ago, it was you needed to pick that place apart and give yourself a little bit of a cushion heading into the south. It's not really to me, it's not really a walk in the park anymore, though. Very narrow fairways. When I think of Torrey Pines, you need to be in the fairway. Finding fairways is important. Obviously, length matters a ton. I look for a guy that like delivers a really heavy blow to the back of the ball, irons and driver. Cold, damp. If you look at your past champions, excluding maybe a Brant Snedeker and possibly a Jason Day, the rest of those guys are just strikers. I mean, they're machines, through the bag. Brant, obviously an elite putter, especially on Poana greens. Maybe that's how he got it done. But yeah, I'm looking for a guy that's just kind of a stud throughout the bag this week.
I heard that apparently it's been like the driest summer, fall, winter season in a long time. They're talking about how dry that place is. How conditions may be a little less than they normally are. Does that have any impact on the POA surfaces out there, or is POA kind of POA no matter what?
No, it makes it better for sure.
It's better?
I think so, yeah. I mean, wet POA is terrible to putt in. It's the later in the day, the footprints. I think the dry stuff, you might get a couple, the downhillers might be a little more squirrely than they would be if it was wet, but I've talked to a couple guys and they haven't said it's too firm out there. They all say it's like plush and pure.
Okay. Good to know. So some flushers through the bag. Last year you had Matthew Pavant come out of nowhere, win this
out of nowhere.
Crazy. Hit it really good with his irons, gained almost 2 strokes on the field with his irons, putted really well. Gained about 2 strokes putting as well. Other champs before him were Homa, List, obviously both flushers. P. Reed, I don't know that I would call him a flusher. You would? Okay.
He delivers a heavy blow to it. Like, I mean, he might not like the sound's just different. It's not, he can hit the same 7-iron 5 times in a row right out of the screws. Not everyone out there, does that. There's
to us, it's like everybody does that. So
no, there's different levels. You walk up and down the range at a PGA Tour event and give everyone a 5-iron and say, let's see your best. Let's see it. Impress me. There's going to be some guys that impress you. And then there'll be some guys like, oh, okay, that's just like normal. I look like a heavy hitter when it's damp out, their ball's not getting affected. Their ball still moves. I don't know how much better I can describe it there, DB.
Maybe a little short game come in handy here too.
Yeah. Nice chipper.
Obviously, mid and long irons kind of key here, as opposed to the last couple of weeks we've had at Sony and AMEX. They're hitting a little less wedges into these greens and a little more through the bag. If you look at the bet the number course page, you definitely get the Bomber's Paradise checkbox and the bomb opportunity calculation there. So it definitely favors the longer hitter, the heavier hitters, as Mr. Every is saying. So check out our friends at Bet the Number if you haven't already. Get all your course details, course intel. The custom model is live and up already on the site. You can take a look at that. I will publish my model here in the next 24 hours or so on Tuesday. We do have the early tee off this week so that the tour doesn't interfere with the NFL playoffs, which they should do until the NFL is over, but they only do it this week, I think.
Yeah.
Or maybe next week too. So
love the early tee off.
Me too. Yeah. Me too.
I'm a big fan.
So they're going off on Wednesday. Check out Bet the Number. Link in the description. Code TJ gets you a discount if you want it. If you need it, get it. That's the biggest discount available anywhere on the World Wide Web. Don't forget to check out, too, Bet the Number added new this year, a blog page that is free to anyone. You don't have to be a Bet the Number subscriber. And our friend GS Luke, Luke is a tremendous course analyst, stat guy, handicapper, really good on the prop side of things, both with Prize Picks, Underdog. Really crushes those. And every week he's putting up a free blog. It usually drops on Wednesdays on Bet the Number, where he kind of breaks down the golf course, his key stats, some of the model inputs, and then gives you a free play on Prize Picks and Underdog. I think the free play, the free play hit this week. He had that down for round one. So it's just a good free piece of content you can get on Wednesday from a guy who really knows what he's doing. So check out our friends at Bet the Number if you haven't already. They got a lot of new model upgrades, a lot of new upgrades to the site, the props tool. The matchups tool is what we are single-handedly using for our SoBet bets that have gone 5-0-1 in the first 3 weeks. You got to take advantage of the tools that we're giving you. All right, so let's talk about our favorite bets. I haven't done a whole lot of handicapping for this yet, so I'm kind of flying by the seat of my pants.
Are we doing our picks?
Yeah, we got to do our picks. So that's what I was getting to, Matt.
Okay. Felt like you were.
Matt's ready.
I'm with Matt. I thought you were like jumping past it. I did.
Matt's ready to be first. He knows he's picking first.
No, I'm not. I'm not picking first.
Oh yeah, Tony. That's right. So last week was kind of a bloodbath. Thanks to my boy J-Lo, Justin Lauer, pulling it out for old DB. I had the first pick in the draft. I took Sung Jae, and he missed the cut, and I looked like he never played golf before. Unbelievable performance by Sung Jae. So I had Sung Jae and Justin Lauer. Justin had another great week. Love to see him doing so well. We love him and Chad. So that was good. Tony had Wyndham Clark, Pat, and Kazire. I don't think either did anything. Matt had JJ Spawn, T29, and Ryan Gerard. What did Ryan do? I don't know.
Yeah, like 50s maybe.
And then Pat had Finau and Carson Young. Carson Young finishes T29. I don't know if Finau did. Do you know what he did?
He missed the cut.
MC Hammer.
Yeah. He ejected on Saturday.
We'll total up the earnings, figure it out, but I'm ahead. This week, Tony's got the first pick. Don't forget, we do need some comments, especially the last place loser at the end of the season who has the least amount of money. What should the punishment be? Drop it in the comments. Give us a like. Give us a subscribe on YouTube if you haven't already. So Tony's first pick is he even playing? I don't even know. I think he is. Let's see. Yeah, he is. Mr. Keegan Bradley is off the board for Tony. And that means it is Matt Every's pick.
I'm going to go Grazerman.
There it is.
Keep
I was
riding
really surprised you didn't take him last week, actually.
I did some digging last week in his camp. I think this is the week.
Okay. So Matt takes Grazerman. Pat, you got 2 picks here.
Are we not allowed to take a favorite?
Yeah.
You can, but you can also grab your 150 to 1.
Okay.
Yeah. Depends on what you want to go for. You get 2 picks at the same time, so
I'm gonna go Hideki.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna go Lonto Griffin.
Whoa.
Ooh, I looked at that.
Okay.
He likes this place.
He does.
Hideki. I like that. Okay. Matt?
Tony sent his picks in and totally just knifed my guy at 150 to 1 from me, even though I'm going ahead of him. But no, I like Tony. I'll let him have him because he'll just throw a wrench in this. I'm going to go with, I think I wrote him was it 2 weeks ago? Maybe even last week. I'm going to go with Toasty. I got nothing. I just think I didn't see a lot of 150 to 1s that looked great to me this week, except for Ryder. Toasty, there's just a ton of upside there for me. He does hit it far. He's a little guy, but he pounds it. And decent finish last year. First time getting a look at that place. Made the cut. Nothing great on the weekend, but I could see a decent finish out of him.
Okay. Toastman Alejandro. I will definitely take Ludwig. That feels really nice.
New member at my course.
Ooh. Oh, really? What course is that?
Pablo Creek.
Pablo?
Yeah, man.
I've played Pablo.
You have? Who'd you go there with?
Long time ago. Dr. Rose.
Dr. Rose.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know him.
I teed off right behind Fred Funk and Tim Wakefield.
Oh, nice. R.I.P. Tim Wakefield.
Yep.
Solid human.
Good guy. I outdrove him that day on number one.
Did you?
It was the best drive I hit all day. All right, you're taking. All right, so I got Ludwig. You know, I had some magic with Luke List here the year he won.
Boy, that form is so bad
Luke's
right now.
Not been playing well. I know he's not been playing well at all. I don't know what to do here.
What's going on there?
You know, I don't know.
Has he tried a lab golf putter yet?
He needs to do something, dude. You know what though? Because Luke's a member at my place at Champions and at Pat's old place, Gus Country Club. He does both. And I've heard that he is so reluctant to do anything different with the putter, that he likes the traditional setup and he likes the certain way it looks, and he's just like dead set on figuring it out. But it is not getting figured.
He doesn't really even need to be great at it. Just
hey, what do you know about your boy? Do you know anything about old Trey Mullinax here lately?
What about him?
You know?
Not really.
I used to like Pat Media. I feel like we used to love Trey Mullinax when
he played well last week.
He did. That's what I was kind of looking at, and he kind of fits the bill. He's a mauler.
I thought he's got a big boy golf game. Yeah, I do know that. I don't know him like personally though.
You know what? I'm gonna feel it. I'm gonna go Luke. I'm going Luke List.
Okay,
love it.
My vibes with J-Lo turned out nice last week. You know, kind of a good guy.
Do you have him outright too?
J-Lo? No, I didn't.
No.
No. But yeah. So all right. So I got Ludwig and List. Tony's got Keegan and Sam Ryder. You have Gracerman and Toasty, Matt, and then Pat has Hideki and Lonto for the season long. Matt, hit us with so obviously you're a big fan of Gracerman this week. You think this is the week.
I mean, it's coming for sure, but you know, that number keeps getting smaller and smaller. We're at 25-1 right now.
Yeah, it is tight.
I just think his golf game sets up really good for a place like this. There's separation here, you know, good golf here goes a long ways. I just think he's a stud throughout the bag, and it's going to happen soon. I also I got Ludwig written down, but I don't know. It feels a little too chalky for me. I think.
Yeah, I mean, it's 9-1. We don't usually.
Yeah. No, thanks. So actually, Grazerman's going to be my shortest guy, and then I'm going to go Shane Lowry at 30-1.
Lowry.
I have Jason Day at 28-1. I have Bo Hostler at 50-1.
Love Bo.
And that's going to be it, I think. Those. Justin Rose 60-1
I like the Rose.
Mm-hmm.
Now he was dialed in TGL.
He was dialed. He was everyone else was. Didn't it seem like everyone else was way off on their calibrations, or maybe Justin Rose is that good?
He's maybe the best player in the world,
or maybe he's bad. I think those damn things are juiced. So maybe his numbers were so far off, or he was just smarter than everybody else and he figured it out.
Or maybe he has that exact one at one of his houses.
Yeah. Because did you hear Tiger? Tiger made a comment. I think the mic picked it up vaguely. He was talking to another player, and he's like, "Dude, I can't remember what he said. I hit like a 5-iron. That was crazy. I never hit it that far." I think the numbers are juiced on that damn thing.
They got to kind of watch
the Kiz.
Somebody's back there pressing the button and turning it down for Kiz. Would he carry it like 239 on one thing or something?
I'm interested to see how Billy is this week on there.
Oh yeah, what?
Just like the whole entertainment aspect of it.
Oh yeah, I thought he already played. Did he not?
No, this is his first week. This is the Atlanta Drive's first week there, DB.
Yeah.
Get it together.
JT's on that team.
Yeah, I forgot all the local Atlanta.
This is our team, DB. Atlanta
the local Atlanta guy.
Oh, yeah, that's right. These guys are about as Atlanta as a snowstorm or whatever.
Just like Kiz is for Jupiter.
Yeah, Kiz is so jupe life.
I mean, he likes to fish, doesn't he? They got that down there.
Boats, fish. Yeah, I guess. All right. Any other? So Day, Lowry, Rose, couple of some veterans in the mix there. You got Grazerman, Hosser. I like Hosser, man. I really like where he seems like he's kind of picked up where he left off in the fall.
Yep, solid stuff last week. Just getting going.
Sucks so bad.
Who?
His irons are terrible, though.
Are they?
Scary. Yeah.
Yeah, who knows? Maybe he sorted those over the break. And then Jason Day, 28-1. I like Day here. He's obviously swinging good at it, and he's one of those guys I know, throughout his career, the short game's kind of been his thing, hole in 10 footers, which go a long ways here, and getting up and down. But his quality ball striking is quality. It's not, bringing it up to average. He's pretty sick.
Yeah. I mean, obviously guys who historically have done a really good job on POA is a thing. We know that's a thing. But for everybody else who's just kind of like either mid on POA or the results are mixed, do you think that like bad putters come up to the mean here?
No.
No. They get worse.
They stay bad.
Okay.
Yeah. I think this separates good putters more than anything. Look at Brandt Snedeker, man. I mean, that guy's ball hugs the ground. Look at Tiger here. Tiger forever, when that Sam putting lab thing came out, from the end of the backstroke to impact, he was the quickest. All right. Like just 100% conviction. Brandt Snedeker is very similar. And guys who just have that kind of like, bam, this full commitment there, not worried about running it by and giving themselves another 4-footer. They seem to space themselves here more than other places.
Let me ask this before you go, Willie Z, because I think a lot of people think of him as a bad putter, but he seems to putt well at Augusta National. He obviously putts well here. I mean, he's out of the last 3 starts or 4 starts, he's got 3 top 15s, a second. He plays well. I mean, so tell me about Willie Z when it comes to his putting on this course, but then also his play right now, because I think he's starting to get back to where he was.
Yeah, Pat, that was one of the names I looked at too. I mean, he's got decent results here, and he's playing good as well. 22-1. He could just ball strike his way around here and not have to putt great. I'm with you though. I'm in that camp where he's not a bad putter as we might think. I used to think Camilo was this way early in his career. They'd show him on TV missing a very important 2 or 3 footer, and then they do, and then all of a sudden he becomes labeled a bad putter, and it's like, well, wait a second, he holed like every 15 footer he looked at today. Like that's not the. I think we might get a little bit of that with Willie Z. His times at Augusta, like you mentioned, he's up there second, first strokes gained putting. Josh Gregory all the time would tell me this guy's a really good putter. Like they're wrong about him. Didn't he go to a lab as well?
I'm not sure if he did.
I feel like I've seen him with one. I don't know if he's still with it, but I do feel like I've seen him with one.
Yeah, it does feel like his time's coming too. Can't take every favorite this week, though.
No, you're right. I agree.
Do you think like record, or not record, but like laps around here matter? I'm going to ask you that most weeks.
A little bit. Yeah.
That makes it tough for maybe a kid like Clanton, I love Luke Clanton, and Pat, really screwed him at the Sony, and he goes on to miss only his second cut on tour or whatever. But
a good caddy can come into handy for a guy like him, like Luke. I'm not sure who Luke has on the bag right now, to be honest, but if it's a guy who's been around there enough with a veteran player and knows the misses, because there's certain parts, especially when these courses on the West Coast firm up, when they're not firm, you can get up and down from anywhere, but when they firm up, it's a totally different golf course on where you put your leaves. If you're playing out of the rough into the green, where do I want to miss this? Do I want to leave it short in the bunker? Do I want to go over? There's a ton of that here.
What about some top 20s or placement bets or any other long shots before we let you go?
I really haven't looked.
All right, well then can I run
let's go. Let's go Luke List.
There we go. Took it right out of my mouth. Sweet.
Yeah, I like Lanto as well this week. When Pat said that, I definitely was taking a peek at him. A decent week in Palm Springs. He's got pretty good form around here, and I could see it. A decent week out of Lanto.
Who starting to kind of buck their head a little bit, and I saw Bet the Number tweeted about this guy, I think on Friday or Saturday, for a long shot top 20, Alex Smalley. And he's 11th and 16th his last 2 outings, gaining strokes in every category statistically at the Sony and at the AMEX. Kind of clicking, plus 280, top 20, 80-1. outright. He's had a couple runner-ups on tour. I think he's got 2 or 3 runner-ups on tour so far. Got a handful of top 10s. He's had some experience late. He seems like kind of a dark horse pick for me that I like going into this week. Might be kind of a big course for a guy like Justin Lauer. It seems, this could be a big one for him. I don't know if I want to keep riding that one, but the other guy I was going to ask you about is Jaeger.
Okay.
This seems like a nice spot for Jaeger, who almost won, could have won the Sony, hitting it really well with his irons, gained a lot of distance. Notably, they talked about that till they were blue in the face at the Sony. T3 here last year after a lot of distance gains, the years before. Just seems like an interesting spot for him at 60.
Yeah, that's going on my card. I totally glanced over him, and you talked me into it. This is what happened last week, by the way, but thank God it did, because when you guys brought up Sepp, I was like, yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Yeah. But I do like Jaeger here. I had Spawn written down as well. Again, I know this is 3 weeks in a row for him, and but he kind of falls in that category with Lauer. Maybe, like, does he have enough firepower in the tank? Now, if those guys find fairways all week, that goes a long ways here. It really does. But if you're missing fairways, man, that club head speed matters big time out of this rough.
Yeah. Good stuff. All right, man. All right. Well, we appreciate the time.
Hey, who are we taking tonight?
It's so hard to. I mean, I just don't want to either one of these teams. Can we take I don't know, something like just hitting the stadium, but it's keeping everybody safe.
Yeah, like give them all the flu or something.
Like give everybody the flu and they just gotta cancel it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, I think Ohio State wins it, but I would prefer the Irish to win it because I like Marcus Freeman.
Isn't that nuts, by the way?
It is nuts. Like Marcus Freeman, and it's only because of Marcus Freeman. If it were still Brian Kelly or what, I freaking hate Ryan Day. I hate Ohio State. Although I think they're going to win.
I do too.
Yeah.
They just seem unstoppable.
Hopefully, it's at least a good game. The spread is a little too. I don't want to touch that spread.
God. I almost had the parlay last week too. I was a Harry Hall one shot away from the 3-way parlay. I had the KC money line, the Commanders plus 9.5, and Harry Hall to finish top 20, finish T21.
Harry Hall do anything for you this week?
I was looking at Harry Hall. I like him a lot. We do know that he's leveled up in some ways, and it's been evident. This is his 4th week in a row. He's a young guy, but this is 4th week in a row, and his record here is not good. I think he's only played. He's played here 3 times, missed the cut every time. I don't know if that I don't know what that kind of means, but I think I might pass and I'll do Jaeger instead, kind of in that same range. But I think maybe top 20. I just don't know if I want Harry Hall outright again. Now watch him win because I've had him on my card for literally every event this year. All right, Matt. Thank you, buddy.
All right, boys. We'll see you next week.
Have a good week. See you. Matt everybody. Great dude. Love to have him on. Every single week. So yeah, Pat, any news going on in the Discord before we move on? You got anything to share with us, or
we're just bringing in the new folks, DB. New pricing, and look, you've had some success there with some props. We're getting our betting cards are hitting in there. Everything. It's just been a good start to the year in the Discord, DB.
Yeah, you're doing
a lot of wins yesterday were posted, which was nice.
A lot of wins. You're doing your first look show.
Yeah, first look show was today. By the way, Jaeger, who you just talked about, was one that we talked about early. His number was a little bit longer. So you got to get in on the first look show in the Discord, and that's the only way you can be on the first look show. Now, DB, I wasn't on camera today because I was looking kind of rough. So.
Oh yeah, you don't want the people to see you looking human, huh?
Yeah. Guess what else happened?
What else happened?
What always happens to one
technology issues?
Yes. They couldn't hear me at first. I had to restart my computer, which I don't understand how that makes it work, but it did.
Sometimes you just got to blow in it and move on.
Yeah.
All right. Well, talk about. Let me hear some of your favorite outrights. Let's go outrights, and we'll hit some top 20s and DFS. We'll get out of here.
Yeah. All right. Up top, I think I touched on Willie Z. I do like Willie Z. I wish the number was a little bit longer. I think I've seen 25-1 if you can get it, but he's 22-1 on DK right now. So he's the shortest guy that I'm going to go with. And I do like Jason Day too at 28-1. I think Day, from what we saw last week, his history here, just this just feels like, with his scrambling, everything else is putting. I think Day could have a good week and win this golf tournament. So up top, those are my favorites. DB, one of the guys we talked about on the First Look show was Aaron Rai. We saw him a few years ago kind of contend when Luke List won. He's 11th in the BTN models.
He was kind of in there.
Yeah. He finished T15 at the Century. This is a guy who's super talented. What I will say is this. On the First Look show, he was 65-1. Now DK has him at 45-1. So if there's any guy out there that's really gaining some steam in the betting markets, it's obviously Aaron Rai. And I kind of hope that number gets, sometimes you see that happen like day one. It'll kind of, they'll shorten the number and then it'll get a little bit longer by tomorrow. But I do still like Aaron Rai. And I like Steven Yeager too. He was another one that I had written down. So, and then if I get, you just want all of them, DB?
Yeah. Give them all to me.
Well, I was with Matt Every on Justin Rose. I'm with him on Justin Rose, not just because of TGL. I think Justin Rose is actually, got a good chance to play very well here and get a win. And then the longest shot guy I have is I'd say Lanto. I'm just a big fan of Lanto this week.
What's the deal with Lanto?
He likes this place.
I know he's a Cali guy.
He's he finished Q School T34 last week. You look at his, has a top 10 here. He basically has made the last 4 cuts that he's made here, and this is when he hasn't really been like last year. He was T64. He didn't really have a great year. Had to go through Q School to get into get on the tour this year. I just think Lanto's is a good candidate for a long shot win, and we saw that with Pavon, although he wasn't as long as Lanto is. But List. What was List when he won? Like 70-1, 80-1.
Yeah. Pavon was really a bomb.
Yeah.
Wasn't he longer than that? Wasn't he like triple digits? Yeah, Pavon was super long. Remember
nobody even really knew who he was at that point.
I know, yeah. We had like the run. We had like Chris Kerr, Grayson Murray, Nick Dunlap, and Pavon those first 4 weeks. It was nuts.
Yeah. Can I tell you the guy that's gonna win and I'm gonna be angry?
Okay.
Because everybody's been talking about him the first part of this year.
Mm-hmm.
And I think he fits what Matt was saying about just a heavy hitter as far as like great ball striker, and that's Daniel Berger.
Oh no,
he's played well here too.
I don't know. I think we keep trying to will Berger to happen.
I agree. That's why I'm saying he's not going to be on the card.
I'm part of that. I definitely am. I think I had him on for maybe the Sony. Yeah, I just think we're just trying to will it, and it's not really going too well. I don't think his record's great here. So yeah, I don't know. I think I'm out. The Bermuda boy, I'll pass on. I'll wait till the Florida swing again for Berger. Okay. I like listen, I think Gracerman is interesting, and this is a classic case. And Matt, our text thread with Matt was funny this past weekend, Pat, because like Matt is he's been on the tour his whole life. He's been a golfer his whole life. He knows all this stuff. He knows all these guys. He knows all these courses, but he's never been allowed to bet on it. And now the dog's off the leash.
He's a kid in a candy store.
He's a kid in a candy store. He's allowed to bet on it now. And my man is firing. He's texting us all weekend. I got outrights on this. Would you hedge here? Would you do this? What would you do? Should I add these guys? And we're like, whoa. You've bet half the field. So like, it's fun to kind of watch him progress because it feels like he's obviously a highly educated golf guy, but he's very new in the golf betting scene. And I just think Gracerman is starting to become, especially at 25-1, he's kind of a classic example of now we're just chasing it. We just want to be there. We want to be there on the first one. We don't want to miss it. But now the cost of missing it is only 25-1. Like, it's not like, I don't know, like when he's 50-1 or 60-1, it feels a little better. but if I keep firing on him at 25-1 at Torrey, which is kind of a, Matt even said you need a couple laps around this place. I don't know. I think I'm going to pass on Max. I would rather have guys with a little more experience at Torrey. Keegan at 22, I think makes more sense. He's been playing just as well. I mean, he's been playing fantastic. T6, T15, last couple outings. Great player, obviously, good ball striker. I would imagine Matt would say he's a heavy hitter, a kind of a thumper, hits it flush with his irons, always has. And then Mav McNeely at 30, like both of those guys playing very well, both with way more experience around this place. Mav's obviously a West Coast POA guy. Ball striking is improved, so I think that's going to help him here at Torrey. Normally, he's been kind of handcuffed, I think, at Torrey Pines in the past and just had to do everything with his short game. I mean, if you look at his strokes gained at Torrey the last 5 years, all of his strokes gained come with short game. And what he's worked on is his driver and his ball striking, and that's starting to show. It didn't really show great with the irons at the Sony, but in the fall when he won and at the Century when he played well, you could see the ball striking coming around. And you add that at Torrey to his knowledge of POA and his good short game, I think he's a weapon at 30-1 and just makes more sense than Max Gracerman. So if I'm going to go shorter, I like those guys. And finally at 35 in the shorter range, Taylor Pendrith. I'm going to be on Taylor Pendrith for quite some time because he just checks so many boxes. A lot of different courses fit him well. He disappointed me at the Sony, but I think this is a better fit for him. And his results have shown the last few years. So I'm in on Taylor Pendrith. I tend to agree with Matt on Beau Hossler. I don't know if I want to bet him to win, though, just with the iron play still being rather suspicious at times. But maybe a top 20 bet at 2-1 is interesting. Jaeger, I'm in on at 60-1. Smalley at 80-1, I'm in on. And then for the bombs, I really like, and I know you're going to be surprised to hear this, I really like Victor Perez.
Oh, yeah.
Long hitter, typically good iron player, underrated short game. The POA is the thing for him, just because I don't think he sees a lot of it. But maybe fellow Frenchman Matthew Pavon, defending champ, they can play a practice round or two together, show him a little something. I don't know. But if Pavon can figure it out, Perez can figure it out 120. I like that.
Okay. Yeah.
Other than that, I think the rest of these guys are mainly top 20s for me in the bomb category. So for my top 20s, I'd say my two locks are give me Keegan at plus 105, a little better than even money there to include ties on DraftKings top 20. And give me Jaeger at plus 230. Yes, that is a lock at plus 230. And for my bomb, I think it's going to be, I gave a little look at the new guy, that Jesper Svensson. Talk about a heavy hitter. Gave a look to him at 4-1. Obviously, List is there. But I'm going to go with, since I'm hot and I got to ride it, I got to ride the hot form right now, Pat. I'm going to go with, give me the California kid, Isaiah Salinda at 8-1.
I like that kid.
Take Salinda.
I like that one. Okay.
That
was a big bomb there. All right. I'm keeping it pretty short on the top 20s. I'm going to go with Keegan at plus 120, and I'm going to go with Jason Day at plus 140.
Oh, where are you getting Keegan at plus 120?
I was just looking at DK.
Oh,
on that one.
Maybe I need to refresh. Okay.
I'm seeing it now, plus 120 on FanDuel and DK.
Oh, okay. Nice.
Then I had Lanto, but I feel like I've talked about him enough. So my and plus Matt took him. So I'll go with my next one. And this is a new guy that well, he's not new to us really. He's really not new to golf, and we've seen him play. But he is new to the PGA Tour. This will be his first time playing Torrey, I believe. Thriston Lawrence at plus 400. I think that guy's an absolute stud. If Matthew Pavon can win, I would assume that was his first time playing at Torrey last year. Thriston Lawrence can certainly finish in the top 20.
What's his odds again?
Plus 400.
Yeah, dude, I like that. I didn't even see that. Yeah, dude almost won the Open.
Yeah.
Did he play Dubai? Let me look. I got it pulled up. He did. Missed the cut. No big deal. Whatever.
Yeah.
Shot 71, 75. All right. Yeah, I kind of like that. Any guys for DFS that stand out to you?
I mean, I think when you look at some of the chalk up here at the top, I'm sure I'll probably eat some with Hideki. I think I'll avoid will avoid Tony Finau after he just really screwed me last week. I think Keegan and Grazerman are pretty solid plays. I think Grazerman, they're going to be chalky. Day's probably going to be chalky, but I'll still play him. I feel like Matt mentioned Shane Lowry as a play for him as an outright.
Mm-hmm.
I think he might be a decent pivot up here. With a lot of guys going today, probably some Willie Z. I think down here when you look at Shane Lowry, he's going to be a pivot. And we haven't talked about Mav at all. Well, maybe when did you talk about him?
You zoned out. I knew you were staring at something. You zoned out.
Yeah.
You can't look at something and listen at the same time.
Can't go a whole show without doing that.
Talked about him as an outright bet.
Is he going to be on your card?
I mean, I haven't finalized it, but he's on. He's one of my outright picks, dude. I literally talked about him and Keegan instead of Gracerman up there. God dang it!
I think I was looking at
drinking my bourbon here.
Yeah, I think I was looking at some other betting odds here. I got to come up with my parlay.
Yeah, I'll give you a break because we said we're ill prepared today for this.
Yeah.
We've been doing other things, but I'll give you a break. I'm cooking on my Blackstone, baby. I'm a Blackstone G right now. Ding, 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 ding. You want to see volcano?
And you've done it all. Like you've done the
dude. I've
done the hibachi. You've done the smash burgers, the breakfast, all of that stuff.
Nachos, all in 48 hours.
How many YouTube videos have you watched in the last?
I've watched probably 11. I probably watched 11 YouTube videos.
Yeah, they're all over the place. Good stuff.
I might start my own YouTube channel just cooking stuff, just for fun.
Do it. So Mav is probably going to be a little bit chalky, don't you think?
Yeah, I don't know. I like this 9K and above range is actually, I think, ripe for some nice pivots because there's really not anybody in here I just completely want to fade.
Yeah.
I think, your lowest owned guys in no particular order are going to be like Finau, Sungjae coming off the terrible miscut and burning a lot of people. Willie Z, Sahith, Lowry. And I would be good with taking any of those. I think any of those guys are going to be interesting. Willie Z might not be. He might be chalky because he's got such a good record here. T12 at last week. So I don't know. We'll see. But like Sahith has been a little disappointing this year, but I think he's an excellent pivot. California guy. Like if he's low owned, I think Sahith is a play. I agree with you on Lowry. I think there's a lot of good pivot options here. I don't know if this is the range I would eat the chalk.
Yeah.
I think I would pivot here and eat the chalk elsewhere.
Yeah, I hear you.
8K range. I don't know what to make. I mean, do you believe in Homa at all yet?
I just was about to say, I think I kind of believe in him.
Okay. Well, you just watched him on the TGL and you thought.
Yeah, he was so good in TGL that it's like Justin Rose. I mean, TGL really is helping me pick some players this week.
We got to call up BTN and say, guys, we got to bring in TGL stats into the.
Is Kiz in the field? Because I'm not taking him. So, poor Kiz.
Yeah,
I was trying to avoid talking too much crap about him on Twitter.
Nah, I'm not.
Because
I'm not.
I mean, at least it was entertaining, though.
Yeah.
I don't know if I've seen. I mean, the bunker shot where he almost killed people was such a decel. It looked like. It was like,
I mean, that flag saved some dude with $400 worth of Peter Millar on some sort of facial surgery because that thing was heading straight to the stands and was going to hit some guy definitely not paying attention because why would he be? Is going to hit him straight in the dome or the orbital bone and send him to the ER. And that would have been a tough look for TGL because then everybody would have been like, how do you not have netting? How do you not? And then they would have had to be like, their PR person would have been like, well, we had no idea that some of the best golfers in the world would be blading bunker shots into the stands. We thought that was, when we bring in good, and Bob does in here to play on the simulator, we don't allow fans in here for that reason. But, we didn't think it'd be a problem with the pros in. And then Kiz domes some guy, sipping his Tito's and soda right in the cheekbone.
Well, and the thing that's even worse is like it's not fake sand. It's supposed to be like sand they use in Augusta National sand. Yeah. So I mean, you shouldn't be doing that out of there.
Jeez, dude. That was so bad. But I'm sorry, like I'm not going to give Kiz any pass because Kiz would not give anyone else pass if given the chance.
No, you're right. No. Yeah, I mean, some guys other than Homa in the 8K range, I think I'll look at Aaron Rye.
Rye's interesting, yeah.
Hostler, like you said, he's at 8,000. In the 7K range, I know Jaeger's probably going to be chalky. I think Hubbard's going to be interesting. 7,800. Played well here last year with a T20. He's been playing well this year with it. It's Sony. He was T21, T12 at the AMEX.
Do we think Ben Griffin's going to be? You think he's going to be okay after the TikTok ban and now it's back and TikTok's kind of up in the air and him and Dana, I'm sure.
Yeah, but he played pretty well on the weekend after the whole TikTok thing, and but I'm kind of I took Griffin as my one and done last week, and he finished 7th, so I'm done with him really for the year. I don't have anything to say about him.
Oh, there you go. Okay,
that's it. No more.
All right. You gonna play Clanton again? Hopefully not.
No.
Okay, good.
I kind of feel bad about Clanton.
Yeah, you should.
I feel like I may have done some things to him.
Yeah, I think you did
early on in the year.
I'm glad you admitted it. That's the first step.
So I'm probably just gonna keep his name out of my mouth for a little while too.
Let's see. Yeah, I mean, other than the guys we've already mentioned in here, yeah, I don't know. Like, no, Smalley. I'm really in on this on Smalley. Thriston's a good call. I think people are gonna like that though. Perez, I think, still goes under the radar, and I think that's a good one. Jesper, who I mentioned, Svensson. Other than that, in the 7K range, that's probably it in the 7K. In terms of the scrubs, I mean, Eric Van Rooyen kind of sucked last week, but it wasn't super terrible. He interests me a little bit. Bramlett plays well here.
I think he might be if there's going to be a chalky 6K guy, he'll be.
Really? Yeah.
I think, we talked about him on the First Look show. What's the deal with Adam Schenk, who has a good history here? Is what I mean. He withdrew last
back spasms. It said, but I think he was going to miss the cut. I think his back spasms generated from poor play, but he had a good week the week before. I don't know.
He could be one that you could pivot to if he's healthy. I mean, his last 2 starts, he's had top 25s here, and he was T6 at Sony. So if he's fine, I don't see why you might not play him.
How about Joel Damon last week?
What a start, and then what a finish. That's what this turn like. That's why the AMEX is so weird, because you just don't know. If you're not keeping your foot down, and just on the gas the whole time, it's just you're going to be 8 or 9 under and missing the cut on Saturday. It's just what's going to happen.
I'm kind of into this Paul Peterson guy too. The DP transfer played really nice.
I feel like he should be on like the tennis tour. What's the tennis tour called? The ATP. He seems like a tennis player to me.
I think. Why is that?
I don't know. I think I played with a guy named Paul Peterson when I was growing up.
Okay. I'm gonna be a sucker at Torrey Pines with the distance being a thing and sending a bunch of drivers. It's going to be hard for me to ignore the 19-year-old South African old Aldrich pot guider.
Oh, yeah. He's on my season-long team, DB.
Is he? 6,400 to see that guy in contention potentially, that big bag of milk, just absolutely sending nuclear missiles into the San Diego sky would be really fun. I'd love that. And then I already mentioned Celinda might be a little kind of a dark horse. So, yeah, I mean, we'll have to dig into these a little bit. I think this is Frankie Sappin's down there too, isn't he? He's been playing really well.
He is.
I don't know where he's priced at. Yeah, that's where I think in lineup construction, the 9K range, like I would be fine just playing some of these pivots. I don't really think I want to get down into the 6K a whole lot. Maybe a little bit, but not much. I wouldn't have a whole lot of 6K exposure.
Yeah.
All right. What do you think about the NFL divisional playoff rounds? What's going to happen? What are you pulling for? You got any bets in? We don't have to do any parlays because I'm not prepared. If you are, you can drop one. But
otherwise, I have one that I'll drop. But I think, I think the Eagles are going to win. Nope. I think they'll cover. I love Jaden Daniels.
I think the Commies are winning this thing.
I don't know. We'll see. I think it depends on the weather. Could be. We'll see what the weather brings in Philadelphia.
That plus 5.5, I will take in a heartbeat.
I didn't say anything about the spread. I just said that I think the Eagles win. I did not say that they might cover. I just think they're going to win that game. I'm pulling for the Bills because I can't stand the Chiefs. I'm so tired of them. I do not want them to. I cannot do it. Yeah. And is that in Buffalo or is that in Kansas City?
No, it's in KC, man.
Fuck.
Yeah, I know.
Sorry for the. There goes. Now we got to put explicit on it, I guess.
So, it's okay.
But if I did have a parlay, this is what I think. I've got Jason Day in the top 20 at plus 115.
Dude, I forgot to victory lap my parlay.
You hit it? I thought you said you didn't hit it.
No, I didn't hit the one from the show, but I dropped the on for round one. DB's no way this misses round one parlay matchup. 2-ball, 5-legger, 5-1. In the Discord.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
We were dishing out winners in so bad in the Discord. We were cooking. Yeah. Anyway.
All right. DK kind of messed me up here because now I'll put this in. And, before the show, Jason Day was plus 140 in the top 20. Now they're showing plus 115. So I don't know. Maybe we can get it better than that. But then I'm going to go with 5+ receptions for A.J. Brown. I think he's going to be an essential receiver in this game. And if you do that, that's basically even money, plus 340 on that if you just do those two. So I'm going to go with that.
Because I don't have a ton of time to prepare here, I'm going to puss out here with a real easy one. It's only 2-1, but I'm taking the Commanders plus 5.5, and Ludwig top 20 minus 175, 2-1.
Okay.
Double your pleasure, double your fun with Ludwig and the Commanders. That's it. Good show. Pat, good flu game episode.
I rallied.
I
took a good steam bath before the show, DB.
Oh, that's good.
It helps you out.
It does. It really Epsom salt baths. I just got turned on to those.
Oh, wow. Okay. We're getting old.
Get you in one of those. Yeah, we are.
Mm-hmm.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Enjoy the whatever that football game is on tonight. If you want to look at that, who cares? We don't. Football's over for all we're concerned. College football until September. And let's keep it rolling. Let's keep the PGA Tour season off hot. I would say this is arguably one of the hottest West Coast swing starts of the year we've ever had.
It is.
So let's keep it up. Keep tailing us. Get in the Discord. Don't forget to book your Ireland trip. Let's get into that. Check out SoBet, bet the number. Thanks to all our friends, partners, sponsors, listeners, everybody. You guys are awesome. Bend over your bookie and may your screens be green. See ya. Out. Tour Junkies featuring David Barnett is not an affiliate of CWM LLC. Opinions expressed by the host or guests do not reflect those of CWM LLC. CWM LLC does not endorse gambling or the entities promoted by the Tour Junkies podcast. David is a non-registered representative of CWM LLC, an SEC registered investment advisor.